So that's all we need to do. We just need to make it cool. If we make business cool, all Black youth can be computer programmers and real estate developers. We're told that these deep inequalities don't need public policy to address. We can just use consumerism, especially since the summer of protests, Black and white liberals are increasingly focusing on buying Black.
Following a summer full of national headlines around George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Black Lives Matter, and the coronavirus, a new movement emerged called Buy Black, highlighting Black-owned businesses and giving them much-needed support. According to the latest statistics from the U.S. Census Bureau's annual business survey, minorities own an estimated 1 million businesses in the U.S. Of those, just 12% were Black-owned. And according to Yelp, mentions of Black-owned in reviews are up 617% this summer compared to last.
Consumers are eager to seek out, find, and support Black-owned businesses.
Tara Lewis is a Yelp trends expert.
In fact, just this past summer, on Yelp, we noticed a 6,520% increase in searches for Black-owned businesses.
Looking at those numbers, what does that tell you?
It tells you that people are really interested in putting their dollars where their values are and what they care about the most. If they have a choice to spend at multiple different places, and right now that they really want to support the Black community, supporting Black-owned businesses with your dollars is a great way to do that.
So in the 1950s, we were told that what's good for General Motors is good for America. And Black capitalism tells us that what is good for one Black business owner is good for all Black people. Somehow, the majority of Black working class people benefit when some Black individuals and their companies get rich. If you can't tell from the tone of my voice, I think this is a fatally flawed idea. But this is not a new idea. Booker T. Washington in the late 19th century told Black people to stop pressing for political solutions and align your interests with the business elite. Marcus Garvey galvanized millions of Black people around the idea that the establishment of Black businesses would lead to Black independence and glory. Some of the most successful Black businesses were owned by the Nation of Islam, and Malcolm X also extolled the virtues of Black capitalism.
So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting Black business, but the Black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community. And once you can create some employment in the community where you live, it will eliminate the necessity of you and me having to act ignorantly and disgracefully, boycotting and picketing some cracker someplace else, trying to beg him for a job. Anytime you have to rely upon your enemy for a job, you're in bad shape.
Later in the 20th century, it was actually Richard Nixon, believe it or not, that revived the legitimacy.
Okay, so we're going to get to Nixon, but can we talk about the context of this though? Like when MLK and like Malcolm X are talking about Black business, this is before there was like Walmart. Like, you know what I mean? This is when having a couple of little businesses, you could hire the kids in your community. Like it was a different, I just get tired of us talking about history like out of context, like as if everything is the same right now as it was in 1965. Like when people keep talking to me about King and UBI and how he wanted that more than reparations. But it's like, yeah, but that was before we had this massive wealth stratification. Like if they would have just did a UBI back then, like, yeah, shit would have been better. But we're in a completely different space and time now. Like the money's different. So I'm burnt out on these people. And this dude, like I said, it just feels out of context. And then I get it. He's going to get into the Nixon thing, which Mercer Baradaran talked about in her book, Color of Money. If you haven't read it, read it. It's on Audible. It can read itself to you. No excuses. But it's a mess for me. What y'all got?
Is MG here?
Did we lose MG?
I'm back. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, I'm gonna try to shift to my phone. Y'all keep pushing.
Okay. John, you want to go or?
Nah, bud, you go ahead. Kick it off, cousin.
All right. I mean, yeah, I agree with the thing about taking Malcolm X out of context and like the thing is that we also understand what Malcolm was talking about. He wasn't talking about necessarily like just the economics of a Black business alone was going to save us, but the idea that we were more likely to employ ourselves versus, you know, having to deal with the power dynamics of, you know, having to get jobs from white people because they have all the money and they have the resources to own and operate the businesses. So like I hate the fact that they do this because they take the whole racial lens out of it to make it seem like this is just like a capitalism versus socialism thing. But no, it's like also there's other layers to this that are at play. But that's what I got.
John?
Yeah, man, I agree with everything Mud say, which I saying, man. He's bugging, man, because like he's not what he's doing. He's trying to say like, yo, like this buying Black, like, so don't buy no food from the local Black corner store because we only got like 5 of them shits. Like him, like don't spend your money because the Black people. We only got 5 corner stores now and shit. Like we fucked up. We talking about something we need to do political. Yeah, the political shit that we doing is we trying to get reparations. We trying to get the debt owed to us. Like, you feel me? Like, that's the first step before you want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just leaving that shit out the picture. Like, yo, fuck that. I want to redistribute money to all the workers. And these niggas ain't even really socialists, man. They just want stronger labor unions, man. They don't want no criminal. Man, but see, they talk about you feel me? I want to get rid of the business owner and the CEO. No, you don't. No, you don't, man. You just want more say in the workplace, and then hopefully one day you can have a small business in the house. Man, these people is lying to you, man. They lying. And they using us as the scapegoat, like, see, this is Black capital, Black. Of course, we live in this context, live in this system. So of course, like the thing that we could do, the best thing we could do is try to buy from each other. You know what I mean? Try to keep it a little bit of money circle. I understand it, but it's not the final answer. But he's trying to push it like be on some straight right-wing bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like people saying like buy from Black stores is some right-wing bullshit when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit crazy, man.
So here's my thing, right, John? Why are Black people supposed to be the only people in America, which is a capitalist country, who aren't supposed to be capitalists?
I don't know.
It makes absolutely no sense.
We're the only ones. We supposed to be on some socialism, heal the world, some fucking, you remember that shit. We from the 90s, that fucking heal the world shit with fucking Michael Jackson. Yes, that shit. So we're supposed to be on that shit, and everybody else is just supposed to be out here eating up all the food while we wait for socialism to come. That y'all are telling us when it do come, y'all ain't gonna give us nothing extra. You gonna give us the same shit as people who got here last week.
Yo, I do know what it is though. It's just that they see us as workers. That's all we are.
That's it. That's all we are. That's it. And low level workers at that. And my whole thing is like, I'm not against. So like y'all already know I'm all for UBI after reparations. I'm all for wealth redistribution for poor whites. I'm all for that shit. And I'm also all for doing co-ops, right? So I totally believe that, when you start doing these, because, I believe in a federal jobs guarantee. So when you do the federal jobs guarantee, I believe that those new businesses should have to be co-ops. And they should be owned, 50% by the workers. And within 10 years, the government should turn over the full control of the company to the workers. But I live in Watts, and that's like 60% Latino and 30% Black. I don't want to see a bunch of white people in charge of shit in the co-ops over here, period. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. So I'm fine with all of this. Let's redistribute who gets the money and the labor and I'm here for it. But y'all got to start focusing on outcomes and not these ideas. So we can do everything you're saying, but you need to make sure that the outcome comes out the way it's supposed to. And if it doesn't, you better make it so.
No, I don't got that. I was just checking the connection.
No, we can hear you. But yeah, no, that's my whole thing. Like, let's start focusing on outcomes. I'm tired of this idealism shit of what this country is supposed to be that it's never fucking been for Black people. Let's start talking about outcomes. What are you doing to make my kids' life better? There you go. All right. I guess we should go back to playing then.
Yeah, I guess.
Listening to Reset Race, you now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. What? Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. Adults need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake. Lineage go back to U.S. Southern plantations. Lineage, Jim Crow and mass incarceration. Redline and lynchings. We are old from this nation. You're not about justice if you ain't for reparations. MG the wise one. Cousin mother intellectual. Samantha bringing fire. Anti-black, we pressing you. No permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The backbone of the country. The way you need our energy. You gon' see. Listening to Reset Race. You now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. Adults need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.